You're listening to Exploring Anime with Friends, a JMO for Real podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all major podcasting networks. I'm your host, JMO! And today's friend is my wife and co-host. How's it going today, Sarah?
Hi, everyone. It's going great today.
All right. Are you excited for today's episode of Exploring Anime with Friends?
I am.
All right. Today we'll be diving into the first season of The Rising of the Shield Hero, an epic fantasy isekai that takes place in a world on the verge of an apocalypse, released in January of 2019. First, we will be looking into our four major heroes that are isekai'd into this world, meeting our main protagonist, Naofumi. Afterwards, we will show you the early events that happened to Naofumi and the team that he had to form as a result of it. After that, we will go into some of the many scandals and dirt that are attached to Naofumi's name in the sake of dragging down the Shield Hero. And finally, we will show you how Naofumi and his team bounce back to ultimately repair some of the damage by the end of the first season. And if you like what you hear today, remember to check us out on social media. Like, subscribe, and follow. All right, Sarah, our four heroes have been isekai'd into this land because there are waves that are coming that brings in like a horde of the apocalypse, more or less.
Pretty much,
right?
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the events that have led to our four heroes getting brought in and introduce us to each one, starting with Naofumi.
Naofumi. So Naofumi comes from a world pretty much like ours. I'm not sure if it's specifically our world or not, but he is an otaku, loves the light novels, and he just happens to grab a book off the shelf of the library, and he realizes there's really no words in it. And he just kind of gets sucked into it.
Yeah, no, that's what happens. I'm going to guess that it's not our world.
I mean, that's very fair based on
because
magic.
VR gaming doesn't exist at all yet. We have VR games, but I don't think VR gaming exists in Naofumi's world at all.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Conceptual.
Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good point.
So he is one of the four heroes that's dragged in, and he becomes known as the Shield Hero. And there is talk to us about the weapons as they fasten into the being that wields them.
So, like you said, Naofumi is the shield hero. Itsuki is the bow hero. Ren is the sword hero. And Moriyasu is the spear hero.
Moriyasu.
Oh my gosh. Everyone has strong opinions on Moriyasu. Or should. If you don't, you're not watching well enough. I'm sorry. So, for Moriyasu and for Ren, their weapons, they can just, sheath and put away. For Naofumi, the shield is just literally, attached to his arm. He can't take it off. I'm not really sure if Itsuki has the same kind of thing with the bow.
I'm really not sure. I mean, I'm sure he could take it out of his hand, right?
Well, yeah, but is it attached? I don't remember if it's attached to his wrist or if it's something he can just throw over his shoulder. But I feel like Naofumi got gypped. He literally cannot remove this thing from his arm.
No, I mean, I don't think any of them could put down their weapons completely.
Mm-hmm.
So we've talked about their weapons already. Let's go into a little bit about the personalities, starting with our hero? Naofumi.
Listen, Naofumi is a product of what has been going on around him.
I mean,
he's okay. He's kind of a jerk, but I stand.
There are stronger words that are much more appropriate.
There are. Either way, I stand by he's a product of what's been happening to him. We'll go into that part later. But yeah, no, he's kind of a jerk. He will literally tell people, I'm not doing this to help you. I'm doing this for the money that I need.
Yeah, but other than Raphtalia and Philo, he even treats his closest allies like dirt, it feels like.
Who is it besides them?
The shopkeeper, the slave trader, so on and so forth. I don't know. Naofumi's a very hard main character to root for.
I get what you're saying. I enjoyed it because it was different.
He's very well
definitely
written.
Different. Yes.
Very well written.
Oh, absolutely.
From that standpoint, you can appreciate him as a character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that his personality is hard to root for.
That's fair.
But not nearly as difficult as the other three, right?
Oh my gosh. They're all kind of a pain in their own ways.
Let's talk about the one that stirs up the most emotion.
Moriyasu. He's a jerk. He's a big jerk.
And he's a fool, too.
Idiot. He's an absolute idiot. He's constantly falling for, the pretty eyes. And he just assumes the worst in Naofumi because Raphtalia is actually a slave. He assumes that he has made her do the absolute worst things because a slave in Melremark isn't just someone who has to do what they're told. They're magically bonded to you. There's like this tattoo-like seal that's put on their chest, and they can't lie to you. If you order them to do something, they have to do it. It's incredibly different than just owning a slave. Like, you have complete control over this person. And of course, Moriyasu just assumes the absolute worst, and he thinks that Raftalia is just this poor, weak girl. And he clearly needs to kind of like take her under his wing.
Yeah, and he's quick to believe anything negative that is said about Naofumi.
Oh, yeah.
He's quick to believe anything that the king says. The king of Melremark, that's the kingdom that called them in. And he's quick to just buy into every piece of dirt.
Yeah.
When the truth of the matter is, and he's also not quick to think about the consequences, but that's something that Itsuki and Ren have a problem with too, right?
Very fair.
Ren is a little more stoic as a whole. He's a little more clear-headed, and I think if any of them is like the ball of energy per se, it would probably be Itsuki, right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about the two of them? They're not as main of characters as Naofumi and Moriyasu.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely serve their roles. I will agree that Itsuki's got a little more energy than Ren. And Itsuki does try to figure out the truth a little quicker, it seemed to me. But even then, it was all kind of background.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ren knew that something foul was at play pretty early on when it came to it, but he didn't speak up as much. And Itsuki was a little more willing to speak up. But then when there were other things that were going on, Itsuki was very quick to bring that energy against Naofumi too. So
no, that's fair.
Whereas Ren was still a little more level-headed there. So as a whole, Naofumi's are important hero that has been brought in, and he has to build a team. They all have to build teams to follow them because they're the four cardinal heroes that have been called into the land to protect it against the waves. And the parties choose their heroes, and already on the very first day, apparently because Naofumi doesn't know anything about like open world gaming, and this seems like an open world game to the other three, that conversation gets relayed and gets spoken out in the open. And when the parties go to choose their captains, no one chooses Naofumi. So Naofumi is here as the shield hero, and he's completely stuck as to what is he supposed to do without somebody to be his sword, right?
Yeah, exactly. The big thing is that we didn't say yet, the heroes can't collectively be a party because something about their weapons repels each other. So they can work together, fight the bad guy, but they can't work together to like gain XP.
Yeah. So now he's at that point, and Mine, the princess of the kingdom, or one of the two princesses of the kingdom, decides that she's going to help Naofumi out. And by help him out, we mean smear his name in the mud even further. Talk to us a little bit about Mine.
Oh, I hate her so much. So much. Great to have a villain you can really hate.
Yeah,
so,
right? Doesn't she just make the anger well up inside of you?
Absolutely.
Like,
oh
honestly,
my gosh.
A great anime character should do things to stir you emotionally.
Should get feelings for sure.
She wells up that anger in
you
yeah. very easily.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot of these characters really do.
They do. They do. At the beginning, though, she doesn't come out and say that she's one of the princesses. She just like, well, I'll join you, Shield Hero. Let's go, like, kill monsters and get money and like, all that kind of stuff. And so, yeah, she goes, and really it's kind of just Naofumi killing little kind of slime monsters, and he discovers that if he takes, like, part of the loot from them and gives it to the shield, it gives something for a shield and kind of cool stuff. And they earn enough money to get some better armor, and then they decide to go to an inn for the night and just, go to sleep. Separate rooms, just go to sleep. Right before that, though, Mine's all like, well, why don't we have a drink to celebrate? And at first I'm like, yeah, cool, drink. Yeah, why not? And Naofumi's like, nah, I don't drink. And she's like, come on. And then I'm like, oh, we see where this is going.
Yep.
He just goes to bed because he's had a long day. And in the morning, he cannot find his armor. He cannot find his gold. He can't find anything. And he can't find Mine. That's because she's taken the stuff and ran into the arms of Moriyasu, with this sob story about how he did something very indecent, and I will leave it at that. You guys know what I mean.
I'm not going to go into that.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that in this kingdom, it's a matriarchal kingdom. Anyone else even remotely accused of that would have gotten the death penalty there.
It's beyond just a heinous crime. It's worse.
Yeah.
Even it is a matriarch, but even we haven't seen the queen yet. And that was always kind of in the back of my mind in the beginning there. So, like, the king isn't sure what to do exactly.
Well, the king is ready to just
Oh,
throw the
yeah.
complete book at him.
I mean, that's fair.
He's in on it. Like, I don't know if he knows the specifics. And
I don't know
at
if he
this
was in
current
on.
point in time,
I think mine's just tear eyes and he hates
the shield
he
hero
hates the shield hero
before he was ever even summoned.
Yes, that's fair. He has prejudged Naofumi before even seeing him that no matter who this guy is, I'm gonna hate him. That's not explained until the incredible end as to why, and even then, it's not really even touched on until the next season, I believe. But yeah, you're right. He absolutely hates, and he's willing to believe anything, probably anything bad about Naofumi.
Yeah.
But either way, basically, he just strips him of all his money. And is like, well, we can't keep you in prison, and we can't kill you, because if we kill you, that's one less cardinal hero to fight these waves.
Yeah, because a new hero cannot be brought in until all 4 of the old heroes are dead.
Yeah, so you can just exist, is pretty much what it boils down to. And now Fumi gets mad.
Yeah, well, rightfully so.
Oh my gosh, because like he didn't do it, he knows he didn't do it. He gets mad. He pretty much tells all of them off on his way just out.
Because as he already knows at that point in time that nothing worse can happen to him.
Yeah, no, he's hit the bottom.
Yeah. So because of the position he holds, nothing worse can happen to him. They need him to get stronger. They need him, because you touched on before, they have to upgrade their weapons.
Yeah.
So they're leveling up their person, they're upgrading their weapons, they're expanding the skills on it and everything by feeding it different things and by doing different tasks. So if that shield doesn't get upgraded, it's as if it isn't there. And the 4 heroes aren't working together, as we later find out, and getting stronger. There's no shot that they'll complete these waves. So Naofumi goes out, and his reputation is completely torn apart because it got broadcasted everywhere.
Oh,
They have
yeah.
magical
They
broadcasting.
do have magical broadcasts.
So Naofumi's in a spot where he convinces there's a shopkeeper who is very supportive to him, a weaponsmith who has a few other things too. Elhart, yes. But he finds him as a supporter because he looks into Naofumi's eyes after he pins him into the wall, and he's like, "Oh, you really didn't
do it. Like, I can tell."
So Naofumi is stuck, and he's approached by a slave trader. Talk to us about how he meets Raphtalia.
This slave trader is absolutely fantastic, by the way. He is so scummy in such a good way. I love him. He's got that oily voice.
Who he reminds me of? He reminds me of when Danny DeVito played
The Penguin.
Yeah.
He's got the sharp suit look. Yeah. Oh, there was an excellent character. But basically, the slave trader's like, I can solve your problem of not having a party. You just have to have the money for it. And he brings him down. He shows him all these demi-humans. And demi-humans are like people with animal features. So, of course, he's showing them all these, like, big, expensive, like, strong, well-abled ones.
One level 70 one.
Yeah, one that's level
Like
70.
an absolute killing machine.
Yeah. And Naofumi's like, I can't afford this. Like, I've been trying to grind levels and beating monsters. And Naofumi's done other things. He's actually made some money by selling the monster loot and by making potions, like really crafting really good, well-made potions. So
and by extorting shopkeepers by showing the monsters that are inside his cloak.
Like
and
the
it's like, you're
slimes.
going to give me a fair price or I'm going to stick these on you.
The
right?
slimes in this world are like chompy, like so they just chomp, but they don't hurt him at
They're
all.
like slimes meet chain chomp.
They're almost cute, yeah. So yeah, he's definitely like carrying around a couple of those and like using those to extort the shopkeepers.
Hero.
He's only doing it because he has to, though. He wouldn't be able to make money if he didn't be like, I need this money. I'm selling you stuff. You're gonna give me a fair price. I'm not asking you for more. And if not, I'm going to let loose this little creature on you. So,
vigilante justice.
yeah, right. So he keeps hearing this one very young sounding demi-human cough quite a bit. And he's like, well, how much for this one? And she's sick. She's definitely looks like she's scared, but he can afford her. And that's the point. There is someone that he can buy that will not lie, that will not try to trick him. Because there's other people that have tried to trick him into giving him money and stuff like that. He knows better now, though. But this person, she won't be able to do any of that because she's a slave and she has to listen to him.
And he buys her and he nurses her back to health. And this is Raphtalia. And one of the things that we were talking about her, she's very fiercely devoted, loving. She is kind, yet fearless.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. She will stick up for Naofumi in a second.
Absolutely.
Like, you say something bad about him, she's pulling her sword on you.
Well, because she was saved by him.
Yeah.
She was dying.
Raftalia is the redeeming character of the series for me
Yeah.
when it comes down to it.
She's my favorite.
They're all really well written, and the story's really well written too. It's
Mm-hmm.
just every other character other than Raftalia and maybe the Queen of Nelremark at the end, but even she's kind of very stern too. Her judgment at the end of the season was woo.
Brutal. Absolutely. And I warned you as soon as it's coming up because I had already seen the first couple seasons. I was like, oh, this is brutal. And I cranked the volume up.
But, Raftalia, it really is the breath of fresh air. Not that she's a pushover, but she is very kind and very supportive of Naofumi. And she grows wonderfully. She is raccoon.
Raccoon, yeah.
And she is a raccoon demi-human. So, and it goes so well with Raftalia that he comes back to the slave trader at another point in time, and the slave trader's like, you've really expanded my business.
Yep.
Like, people are talking great about me because of you. Let
That's an
me
excellent
sell
impression.
you this egg.
It's like a gotcha system egg where one could be really, really good, but it's probably just a Fallolial.
Yeah, at worst, it's a Fallolial,
Yeah.
but it could be something even much greater. And, well, it turns out to be much greater, but it seems like just a Fallolial at first.
Which is a bird.
a giant chicken.
Giant chicken.
Giant chicken.
Like a chocobo. more like a chocobo than a chicken.
Yeah, it just brings me back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, where
Giant
Rocket's called the
chicken.
giant chicken. In
Oh
it.
my gosh, yeah.
But you later find out that Philo is a little more special than that. Talk to us a little about Philo's personality and her unique relationship with Sir Moriyasu.
Oh, dear heavens. All right. So eventually, Philo is a Fallolial. So that's like, I will equate it to more like a chocobo. It's a bird. You can ride it. It's very cute. But Philo herself also can turn into a human, a young-looking human girl with these pretty little angel wings. And dear heavens, Moriyasu's kind of a creep for her. Like, it's disturbing.
But she puts him in his place every single time.
She
like
kicks him in the balls.
Yeah, she kicks him in the balls like the first 5 or 6 times that they meet.
Yeah.
That might be an exaggeration, but and they're always like that Team Rocket type send off.
Oh yeah, no, they
too,
fly off in the distance. Definitely funny. She's also pretty loyal to Naofumi, and she's kind of naive too, though, because she just hatched.
Yeah, sometimes she acts like a sweet little girl, and sometimes she acts like a bratty little girl.
Yeah,
And she considers herself a little romantic rival for Raftalia, but
she
the
does.
truth is Naofumi views both of them as his kids. So,
Yeah.
like,
Maybe it's slightly more sisterly towards Raftalia when he finally sees, because demi-humans age differently. It's like 1 second they're young kids, and then once they level up so far, suddenly they're like young adults. And when she hits that young adult level, it's more like he finally sees the change in her, and it's more like a sisterly affection, not yet romantic, but I'm holding out. That's my ship.
well, if you like what you're hearing so far, remember to check us out on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. And you can watch Rise of the Shield Hero probably almost anywhere. We've been watching it on Crunchyroll, but I know it's on Netflix. And it's got to be many other places besides that. This is a pretty popular title as a whole for anime. So let's go into a little bit more of the many scandals that have been attributed to Naofumi's name. We've already talked about the initial one, where he's accused of the worst thing that you can be accused of in this land, with the exception of maybe treason. Treason is
treason's pretty
right
high.
up there with it too.
Yeah.
So, but theoretically, oh no, he does get accused of
He
treason.
does.
Because he gets accused of kidnapping the
Kidnapping.
Princess Melty, the younger sister of mine, and she's actually the crown princess, the one set to take the throne. Talk to us a little bit about how they run into Melty and how Naofumi gets the accusation against him.
Oh, geez. Okay, so Melty, I do like Melty. She's a cool character.
She is.
First time you see her, she's just sitting in this beautiful field with all these different Fallolials around her, and they're all just different colors and stuff, and she's just having a good old time hanging out with them. And then they all run away, and she's kind of sad, but then she sees Philo. She just loves Fallolials. It just brings that nature out of her. And at this point, again, Naofumi doesn't know that this is royalty. And she's like, oh, I was separated from my family, and could you escort me to the next city? And he just does, because he's not a terrible person. When there's a young person that needs help, he's gonna help them. So he escorts her.
And eventually they make it back there. She brings messages to the king from the queen, because at this point in time, we find out that the queen's holed up because king wasn't supposed to summon all 4 heroes. She was at a meeting of the kingdoms where all 4 kingdoms decided they were going to summon 1 hero apiece.
Which makes more sense.
Defend against the waves, and he summons all 4 while she's away against her wishes, and Melty's being sent back to correct him.
which is hilarious because she's very young looking.
Yeah, but she is the crown princess.
She
so
is the crown
She has
princess.
more power than the king would ever have in that kingdom.
Which is also crazy to think of. I'm not used to that mentality.
Yeah.
But yeah, when he finds out,
He's just a trophy husband.
he is a trophy husband. And when Naofumi finds out that Malty's the heir to the throne, he gets mad because he wants nothing to do with the royals at this point because they've screwed him over so badly.
And he storms out on the town after receiving a pittance of an award for helping clear the second wave and whatnot. So he just leaves and goes on his way, and Melty meets up with him on the road saying that I can help you, but you have to be willing to help yourself. That's basically what it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't realize that the whole thing's a setup. They get it to where it's looking on camera as if Naofumi's trying to kidnap her when he's really just trying to protect her to save her life. Because at this point in time, we find out that Mine is trying to kill her younger sister to become the crown princess herself.
And just go ahead and frame Naofumi because they hate him.
Because he's the devil of the shield.
He devil of the shield.
He's been crowned that as the church because it's the Three Heroes Church. And they're saying that, yeah, no, he is the devil.
Yep.
So, and this is the one that really kind of get it spreading everywhere. So they're in the countryside. Eventually, the other three heroes catch up, and Melty's saying, I am with him willingly. He's protecting me from my sister.
He's brainwashed her.
Yeah, he's
The devil of the shield's brainwashed her.
Yeah, and they burn down the forest. They mess with other nobles that are protecting them, and they make prisoners of a few other people because they gave them assistance along the way. Meanwhile, Naofumi's just trying to find some sort of solace, and eventually they run into really the most important character of the series at this point in time, the Philolian Queen.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that and the clear message that she sent to Naofumi.
So the Philolial Queen, she doesn't look that much older than Philo in her human
Acts
form.
a lot older.
She does act, oh yeah, definitely much more mature. She knows what's going on. And when she transforms into her Philolial form, it is giant. It is like
Kaiju chicken.
kaiju chicken. It is amazingly huge. And long story short, she saves Naofumi and team from this crazy thing that's happening that we're just going to gloss over. And she pulls Naofumi aside eventually, and she's like, you know, you guys aren't acting like heroes. The four cardinal heroes, you guys aren't doing it. If you guys can't do it, if you guys can't talk and like set your differences aside, I'm going to have to kill all of you. And that's that.
And she also, in the process of giving that message to Naofumi, she's like, I know you've been hurt. I know you've been wrong.
Yeah, no, she's
But
sympathetic.
You haven't done anything to try to clear your name.
Yeah.
You've just embraced the fact that everyone hates you, and you've relied on that rage shield and dragon paths and everything. She's like, you are not relying on the goodness that is in you, and you are more than content playing the villain.
Yeah.
So she kind of brings about a change of heart in Naofumi to an extent, because she says that she is going to drop him back off to where another hero is so that he can potentially start making things right again. Meanwhile, she tests Philo, and she bestows on her the mantle of the next Philolian Queen, and upgrades their cart too.
Yeah.
So she does all that for them, and then she places them back. They don't realize that in the main part of the world that Ren and Itsuki, two of the heroes, have pried a little too much into the church's involvement in this.
A little too deep.
And as a result of it, it is believed that they are now dead by an explosion that we know is caused by the church, but is being blamed on
Naofumi.
Devil of the Shield.
Devil of a shield.
And when Naofumi comes back, Motoyasu is more or less there to greet him, and he attacks him
Yeah.
because he killed Ren and Itsuki. The two of them are doing battle when judgment rains down from heaven.
Oh, yeah.
And Naofumi is able to put up layers to protect his party and Motoyasu's party. At that point in time, the Pope of the church comes before them, and it's like, man, I am impressed that somehow the Devil of the Shield and the false spear hero survived.
Yeah.
And he makes it pretty clear, I'm the one who killed them. We've been framing Naofumi this whole time. And guess what, Motoyasu? He's going to kill you here, too, and get the blame for it. At that point in time, he's kind of like, the judgment is coming. The queen is on her way at this point because she is trying to reach Naofumi so that she can clear everything up. And Motoyasu and Naofumi now have to work together
You.
with their parties, with Raftalia and Philo and Mine and the other two. Oh, and Melty's there too. They have to work together to battle the Pope. And this isn't quite the end of the season, but honestly, I don't know how much more I want to go into it,
Yeah.
other than that the battle is pretty epic.
Pretty epic for sure, yeah.
And the Queen eventually becomes a part of it, and there is a lot rectified in the final few episodes of the
Yes.
season. So is there anything else that you want to talk about? Like, we haven't even talked about the
gosh.
waves and the fighting outside of all this, but the truth of the matter is this season is
Much.
so chock full.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
right?
I definitely agree. It's really good. Getting Raftalia and having her transform basically from the little kid, Naofumi, teaching her to use a sword, and just eventually her overcoming her fear and finally stepping up. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment for her. I love Raftalia as a character. Her whole background eventually gets laid out, and it's just so heartbreaking, and it's so great to see where she came from.
Overall, how would you rate the whole thing?
I mean, it's pretty high up there. It was excellent. The music was very good. The acting, not acting, the writing was fantastic.
Voice acting
The
too,
voice
yeah.
acting too, yes. It was great. I continued watching through the second and third season. I'm going to watch the fourth one too.
Yeah. It's a really good anime. For me, it's the characters still even now like infuriate me.
Oh, yeah.
But like great characters make you feel something. And even if that emotion is anger, they're still great characters. It's still great. It's not my first choice, but I can recognize greatness when it's there, and I recognize it as that. So once again, we dove into our 4 cardinal heroes, and we met some of Naofumi, some of the many scandals associated with him, and also some of the many characters that came to his aid and became part of his team, including Raftalia and Philo. Afterwards, we went on some of the journey with him, met the Philolian Queen, and exposed the conflict with the Three Heroes Church. We hope you had as much fun exploring the world of the rising of the Shield Hero as we have, and consider watching this anime. So if you like what you heard today, make sure you listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you stream your podcast. Listen to all of our J-Mill for Real podcasts, and hit us up on social media, like, subscribe, and follow. Once again, this was Exploring Anime with Friends. Let's explore together. And now for a word from our sponsors. Binbuster. Live from YouTube, it's Tuesday night, the call sign of the Binbuster YouTube channel. Once you hear this, you know you're about to embark on a journey through pop culture, movies, comics, and more. Buckle up and enjoy the ride every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. EST. Poppin' Cinema with Joe Mama and friends. Showcasing the power of cinema, join Joe Mama as he introduces different friends each week to a movie they have not seen before, popping their cinematic cherry as they talk about the movie they just watched every Tuesday at midnight.